Hey guys, Cedarwood, are you a fan of this note? Let's talk about it. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Sebastian. We're talking about cedarwood today. You know, I've mentioned that I've kind of gotten bored of woody fragrances. Somehow they become just one-dimensional. There's not a lot of exciting notes added to it, so it ends up being boring for me to wear. And I want some excitement added to the mostly woody fragrances that I've come across. So I'm a fan of the way cedarwood smells. I am from Lebanon, of all places, and it's known for the cedars of Lebanon. And that cedar note is so fragrant, and it's a bit more aromatic and a bit green smelling as well in comparison to a lot of the cedar fragrances I've come across. Think of cedar chips for moths and things like that. Those things have such an amazing smell, and I haven't really found a fragrance that actually smells like that, but I've compiled a list of 20 cedar focused fragrances. And going back to the boring conversation, these have a lot of things going on with them, which makes them a bit more exciting to wear. It is a rank list today. Least favorite at the bottom, most favorite at the top. If we're going to find out about my number one, it's awesome. Let's get started with the first fragrance at number 20. Going to the house of MAISON CRIVELLI is DATCHAI, or DATCHAI is what it's called. So it's referring to spices that go into creating a chai drink, or chai kind of a tea drink, and it has lots of cedar here. There's black currant, black tea, cinnamon, incense, guaiac, and patchouli. So it might come off a bit simplistic, but it's full of spices. It's definitely not one of my all-time favorites from this house, but there's some stuff going on with it. It's not just woods. The spices giving you the warm effect, the tea is giving you this kind of a soothing effect, and of course a slight fruitiness comes in as well. I kind of would have liked maybe to have a little something milky to give me like a more of a realistic chai experience. But I think if you're looking for something not necessarily lactonic, woods and spices and slight fruitiness, definitely check that one out. This next one was a disappointment for me. I'm adding it to the list. When I bought it, I was going to review it. I never did because I just felt like it was just too boring for me to review. It's at number 19, going to the house of Tom Ford. It's Bois Pacifique. This one right here. Are you guys familiar with this one? So this launched late last year, or was it early this year? And I was very, very excited about this one. Since it has the word Pacific, I thought it was going to be marine leaning or aquatic leaning. It doesn't actually at all. It's lots of spices and smoky touches and powdery notes and slight ambery vanillic touches in the dry down as well. I mean, I think this is a lot more exciting than Bois DATCHAI. Bois DATCHAI, yeah, this is a rank list. So this is what I'm feeling. I think it's grown on me just a little bit more than when I first experienced it, but it's not like a lot more, like it's not, definitely not number one. But what's really prominent here, there's a lot of cardamom, which I like against the woods. And of course, there's smoky touches that are running through it because there's frankincense in here. And of course, it's powdery because there's iris. But what really gets me to enjoy this one more is when it's settling down to the base, when it becomes a bit ambery with the amber, types and notes and vanilla and things like that. Let me know if you're a fan of Bois Pacifique. Let's move on to the house of Van Cleef & Arpels. This is Bois d'Amande. Bois d'Amande is basically almond wood. Van Cleef & Arpels has two Bois fragrances. There's Bois d'Or, actually, not Bois d'Oud. Bois d'Or and Bois d'Amande. I prefer Bois d'Or, but it's not cedar. This one is certainly cedar meshed with almonds. I wish I liked this one a little bit more. It's a bit subdued and light wearing, but if you like the idea of something nutty, almondy with a cedarwood note, you're probably going to like this. There's musks and vanilla in there as well with light, very light citrusy touches. I just wish it was a bit more robust and intense. It's a good smell. I've ranked it lower because it is a bit on the subdued side, but I just wish that smell was amplified. And now that they're doing a lot of parfum concentration fragrances, maybe they'll make a parfum of this. Who knows? I'm not sure it's one of their more popular ones, but let me know if you're familiar with Bois d'Amande. Are you a fan of it? Do you like that combination of the almonds with the woody cedar note in this? Add a comment below. It's just a bit lacking. It's a bit subdued. But moving on to the house of Atelier Cologne. I'm talking about Atelier Cologne. I recently discovered that this is selling at the discounters, but I still don't know what's going on with this brand. They pulled out of the USA. I think they pulled out of North America completely. They relaunched, rebranded, and their fragrances were relaunched in the Asian market, but I don't know if it's ever going to come back to the States. But the fragrance I'm talking about is CEDRE Atlas, this one right here. I had just bought this fragrance as well. Did a haul video during the pandemic, and all of a sudden the news came that they're shutting down, they're closing. They even had a store in New York City. They closed and you know, a lot of disappointments. But this is a really great fresh take on cedar. If you like the idea of a woody note with the freshness, there's citruses in here. I think it's quite invigorating, but still the smell of cedar comes through. Definitely one for you to try. It's CEDRE Atlas. Let me know if you're familiar with it. It is available at FragranceNet, which is where I was surfing and saw that it's there. But this is cedar, lemons, vetiver, papyrus, amber, jasmine, bergamot, and currants. But it's a fresh one, slightly fruity, a bit floral, and of course, lots of cedar wood. It makes for a very pleasant wear. I really like that about it. And it was definitely a great purchase during the pandemic, but really sad that Atelier Cologne completely folded. But I think they're uncovering some stock out there, and it's available at FragranceNet. Definitely worth it if you like a bit more of a fresh take on cedar. Try Atelier Cologne CEDRE Atlas. All right, here we go with Tom Ford once again. This time it's Bois Marocain. This one right here. Found a great deal on that one. I had to buy it, and I've got it in an atomizer here. And this is a re-release of Bois Marocain. I think the Bois Marocain, when I first got into the scene, like around 2012, they were selling it in the brown bottle. But this launched like 3 years ago, relaunched. You know, I like this one more than Bois Pacifique, but it's all woods and spices. And there's definitely the idea of a little bit smokiness in there, but we're not getting that from incense. It's more that pink pepper that's in here. It's very, very spicy and also smoky at the same time. It's a who's who of woods. It's Thuya wood. It's a type of cedar. There's cedarwood, atlas here, pink pepper, patchouli, juniper, vetiver, sandalwood. I enjoy this a little bit more. It smells a bit like oudi a little bit, which makes the fragrance a little more exciting, even though I've mentioned I'm kind of bored of oud as well. The Bois Marocain is pretty darn good. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. I think there's a lot of stock out there at the discounters for that one. But this next fragrance is a bit of an anomaly to me. It's from the new company called Forest Lungs. So this is supposed to give you the experience of forest bathing, and it actually kind of like changes your mood and things like that. I don't know if it's some subconscious and that's how I feel after I put it on, but it gives me this very uplifting feeling. I don't know if you've tried this line at all, but going beyond that, if you don't want to use it for that, the smell is actually quite good. This to me smells like a pine and cedar forest mixed together, and it has some earthy notes in there as well, along with some ambery touches in the base. But there's a lot of wood shaving like smell, like imagine sawing through a cedar tree, and that smell it creates when the wood is being sawed or, you know, cut up, chopped. But it's like a really awesome woody experience with a bit of slight pencil shaving effect and also some slight smokiness as well. A bit of like maybe incensey touches throughout it, which I'm assuming giving me that effect when, you know, woody ingredients are lit up and things like that. So the next fragrance is Bois Dormant from the house of Celine. Are you guys familiar with this one? Bois Dormant is bergamot, juniper, orris, cedar, and vetiver. This is definitely in line with the DNA of the house. A lot of cedar here, but there's also some aromatic, spicy notes. And then, of course, the trademark orris note that Celine uses in a lot of their fragrances. The smell is really awesome. I really love it. In fact, this is super sexy. Once again, Celine fragrances are not the loudest fragrances, so you need to overspray them. And great smells, but just lacking with a bit of oomph to there. So it's ranked a little lower, but for me, it's a great smell. I love that whole Celine DNA. If you haven't tried the Celine fragrances, try it. Especially if you're one that doesn't like overly intense beast mode fragrances. Might satisfy your, you know, for you to try those. Maybe it'll satisfy your craving for woody fragrances because that's a really solid offering. Next, going to the house of Serge Lutens. This is Féminité du Bois. This is actually a very early fragrance from the house. It used to be part of Shiseido in their original really gorgeous bottle that came in. Moved into this collection, or Serge Lutens collection, because Serge Lutens, I believe, was involved in the creation of the OG Féminité du Bois for Shiseido. But this is a lot of Atlas cedar. There's a lot of it here, but a lot of like fruity notes as well. There's plums here, peaches, orange, sandalwood, cinnamon, beeswax, honey, violets, cardamom, cloves, musk, rose. You know, for me, It's very complex. And even though the cedar note is kind of key here, but this is a kind of a woody fragrance I enjoy more because there's a lot going on with it. Even though the backbone is all woods, you know, you've got other things and something that makes it a little bit more exciting. But I like that whole fruitiness in here. It's a very, very signature smell. Actually, my first bottle of Serge Lutens was a bottle of Féminité du Bois. My second was Chergui, but it's a really awesome smell. You really notice the cedar wood, and it's meshed with the freshness of the citruses and the fruitiness as well. Really great fragrance. Let me know if you're a fan of Féminité du Bois. Add a comment below. All right, next going to the house of Lilanour. It's Davana Cedre, this one right here. I know I'm butchering the French. So this is a combo of Davana, which I have a video on the channel of Davana fragrances. If you haven't caught it, please go catch it. And also cedar. This is Davana focused with cedar, but it's quite powdery and musky. And I feel like even though they call it Davana, I get more Angelica in this. Angelica is a musky vegetal note, creating a very powdery effect, but it's super sexy, guys. If you haven't tried this one, the DNA is awesome. I really love it. It's musky, it's spicy, and a lot of woods. And that Davana, I guess it's in here, but the Angelica is quite prominent, with the Davana adding a brightness, a slight bit fruitiness. A really awesome creation. I think it's created by a Firmenich perfumer, and I'm forgetting, I think it's Honorine Blanc, but really great scent. If you haven't tried that, please do. That is Davana Cedre from the house of Lilanour. Next, going to the house of Commodity, it's Paper. So it's Paper, not minus or plus. Really awesome take on cedarwood with ISOE Super. And maybe I'll do an ISOE Super video in the future as well. ISOE Super is a synthetic variety of cedarwood. So there's a lot of ISOE Super used in fragrances to give you the idea of cedarwood. So molecule 1 is all ISOE Super. And to me, ISOE Super, even though it reminds me of cedar, it reminds me a little bit of a fusion of cedar with dashes of sandalwood. And here we've got ISOE Super, we've got sandalwood, we've got cedarwood. It's a woody bomb, but it's also very musky and clean. And, you know, the whole collection from Commodity is really awesome. I really enjoy their fragrance. I have my favorites. For me, Milk is my favorite in this series. Paper is my second favorite because I really like Molecule 1 and those kind of fragrances. This gives me the idea of Molecule 1, but a bit more substantial because it has not only the ISOE Super, but cedarwood and sandalwood in there. I'm assuming there's some spices that come in and things like that as well. Maybe some citruses to freshen it up, but really great musky take on woods. It's Paper from the house of Commodity. Then we're going to a surprise fragrance from the house of Bon Parfumeur. It's 601. Let me know if you're familiar with this one. I featured this in a video for Bon Parfumeur, and it was a great surprise. It's a fresh take on woody fragrances with a lot of vetiver and cedar and sandalwood at the same time. But there's also pink pepper here, grapefruit, bergamot, pepper, violet leaves, cypriol. So you've got a lot of earthy elements like the cypriol, but also ozonic freshness from the violet leaves in here. There's spices, but then there's a lot of woods. It's a really nice masculine leaning fragrance, but with a lot of freshness and a little bit of a, you know, citrusy freshness from grapefruit as well. I think they've done a great job with this one. The grapefruit and the violet leaves creates a very juicy effect, but not overly juicy like an overdose of citruses. It's the combination of the ozonic freshness of the violet leaves with the grapefruit meshed with the spices. Like there's a lot of pepper in here, a lot of pink pepper and things like that. But really great fragrance. If you don't know this one, please check it out. It's 601 from Bon Parfumeur. Next, going to the house of Givenchy, it's MMW, this one right here. Are you guys familiar with this one? This one's a really super sexy musky fragrance created by Olivier Cresp. I think it's my favorite from the line. There's probably also Noctambule that I like from this collection, but this is a really great musky fragrance, which I like. Musky, woody, and powdery, and ambery as well. There's a lot of Palo Santo here. Ambroxan. There's cedarwood, ISOE Super, vetiver, and cardamom. The cardamom does stand out, and cardamom to me, if you have a jar of cardamom and you like the idea of it, open it up and smell it and learn it, and then see if you can, study it and have it stand out in fragrances, because here it totally stands out against the musky ambery touches of the the synthetic notes like Ambroxan and ISOE Super, and then the cedar wood as well, and the Palo Santo. Really nicely done. It wears close to the skin. Again, it's super sexy and musky woody. Definitely try that one if you haven't tried it. And this next one's also kind of in that kind of a ballpark. Super awesome fragrance called Un Bois from the House of Obvious. It's a simplistic fragrance, very clean and musky once again, but with a lot of woods. There's vetiver here, ambroxan, cedar, and papyrus, black pepper, gurjun balsam, bergamot. And it's clean. It's a very clean woody fragrance. This and also Un Musk from this house are two of my favorites. But Un Bois gives me the idea of Molecule 1, but a bit more substantial. And there's a lot of musky notes under there. It smells super fantastic. Absolutely love Un Bois. If you're wearing this and it projects off of you, it's not going to project like a really beast mode fragrance, but this will come off of you and it'll smell so awesome. Because when I smell myself wearing this one, it smells super fantastic. Really love this DNA. Great scent. This is Un Bois. As you can see, I've traveled with it and the letters are peeling off. All right, next up, I believe it's a discontinued fragrance, sadly. I just discovered it after I put my notes together for this. It's Halfeti Cedar from the House of PENHALIGON'S. If this is discontinued, it's sad. I preferred this the most out of the 3 Halfeti fragrances. They had the leather and then the OG Halfeti from the, I think the mid-2010s. This is cedar with Atlas and Virginian cedar. There's labdanum, dried fruits, rum, vanilla, tonka, cardamom, peach, saffron, everlasting flower. And I ranked it lower because I think it's on its way out, but I think I saw that there is stock out there. So if you like the idea of this one, definitely get it. I like it because it's cedar and it's the focus note. It's called Halfeti Cedar, but I like the booziness and the fruitiness and ambery touches in here and the spices. It's a really, really great wear. I have a video on the channel comparing this one to the OG and also the Halfeti leather. And I don't know if the leather is still around, but this stuff is so good. It's created by Christian Provenzano. It's boozy, it's fruity, it's spicy, it's warm, it's ambery, and of course lots of cedar wood. Really, really awesome stuff. If you don't know this one, check it out. That is Halfeti Cedar from PENHALIGON'S. Next, going to a real authentic smoky take on cedar. It's Chabot Cedre Noble, this one right here, Noble Cedar basically. And this one actually utilizes the cedars of Lebanon, which is awesome. And it's a realistic smell of the cedar, but it's more a bit take on like a smoky take on it. It's woods and cedar and pine, sandalwood, smoke, cardamom, nutmeg. There's wormwood, black pepper, red thyme. So it intensifies with some spiciness and also aromatic touches, but it's a lot of cedar wood here. And it's the realistic, like a real wood shop kind of cedar smell. Like imagine sawing or chopping and things like that. And it's got the smoke, it's got the aromatic spices and things like that. And it's a really nice fusion of something very, very woody, smoky, and spicy as well. Realistic, total realistic smell of the woods there. If you like the idea of realistic woods, that's definitely one for you to try. This next one, sadly, my bottle is like really bad. This is my OG bottle from like years ago. Straight to Heaven from the House of Kilian. Yeah, it is cedar wood, lots of it, with patchouli, fruits, and vanilla and rum. It's super sexy. My very first bottle of Kilian fragrance was Straight to Heaven, and I'm still head over heels for it. And even though they've launched the Extreme, which I found to be a bit more potent but not so loud, but it's one of the best DNAs. I've graduated to Ursa, but Ursa is not identical. It's like the same, but there's the added animalic leather in that one. Here, it's the cedar, the pink pepper, the rum, the boozy notes, the vanilla, and the fruits. It's such an awesome release. Great creation from this house. They do boozy fragrances really well. That is Kilian's Straight to Heaven. Then we have another awesome cedar fragrance, but it's not called Royal Cedar. It's called Royal Oud from the House of Creed. For me, this is more of a cedar-focused fragrance. Slight smokiness under there, but lots of green and musky notes as well. There's angelica and there's galbanum in this, and that whatever oud there is, but the cedar is really, really intense with peppery, spicy notes as well. There's musk along the way. It's an awesome fragrance. It's created by Julien Rascanet, definitely one of his best creations. Absolutely love it. I love the greenness, the bitterness, the muskiness, along with that overdose of cedar, the spices together. Such an awesome release. I wish it was heavier. Maybe they'll do a flanker of this now that Creed is under, under Caring. But I don't think this is one of their more popular fragrances. Probably they won't do it, but I can only imagine what it would look like or smell like. But that's Royal Oud from the House of Creed. Let me know if you're a fan of that. All right, next going to the House of d'Orsay, and I'm not going to read the actual name of this, and it's got the initials AC on it, as you can see right there. J'approche un mystère, is that how you say it? Yeah, I'm pretty bad with French. This is definitely one of the best cedar fragrances. It's at number 3. This is a rank list, as I said. It's also got figs, and there's 2 fragrances back to back focusing cedar and figs together. There's a powdery effect happening here, but it's got the fig leaves. There's pepper in here. There's sandalwood sandalwood and cedar. So you got not only the dry cedar wood effect, but also the creaminess as well. So it creates this nice balance of super creaminess and dryness together. But it's that green fig leaves that comes in that gives you this contrast, adds a super sexy. There's also something musky under there that I'm picking up, which is probably there that I'm smelling. But again, it's a really awesome scent in here. Spicy, green, but very, very woody. AC from the house of D'Orsay. Let me know if you've sampled that one. It is definitely one of my favorites from that house. Then going to the house of Atelier Materi, it's CEDRE Figalia. This is a really great cedar focused fragrance, and of course they combined it with not only fig leaves but also spinach. So spinach as a note in fragrances, yeah, it works here. I think it just intensifies the greenness of the fig leaves and giving it a bit more vegetal idea, but it is a lot of cedarwood. This will remind you of something like Philosophus, but Philosophus starting to smell tired to me. You know, it's been around since the 90s. This is a brand new fragrance. It's a bit more fresh, as in a newer take on something like that. But a really great job by the perfumer who did this. It's a really great smelling fragrance. It's a green and woody and powdery as well. They also have fig milk in this and mate. So you get a little bit of the tea effect, a bit of a creaminess in there. So good. One of the best from Atelier Materi. This is CEDRE Figalia. And my number one fragrance featuring cedar is from the house of Les Eaux Primordiales. It's CEDRE Superfluide. So we had an event here for the brand and I had never smelled this, and the brand came and I smelled it at Ministry of Scent. I was instantly like, this is another fragrance I'm discovering from this house that I haven't put my nose on that I absolutely love. And I'm wearing that fragrance right now because I really enjoy this fragrance. And in fact, I really enjoy the DNA of this house. But it's cedar, sandalwood, ambroxan. There's plums and rose and vanilla. Pink berries, which I'm assuming they're referring to pink pepper. Thyme and immortelle. So it's a bit aromatic. It's a bit spicy, slightly warm and vanillic. The rose shines through, but it doesn't become a rose fragrance, right? There's the ambroxan giving you this extra intensity with an amber musky effect. And then it's the cedar and sandalwood. To me, this is not as dry as a lot of cedar fragrances can be. This is a bit more creamy and smooth, and that's what I like about it, and that's why I put it here. It smells so sexy, guys. If you haven't tried this one, please do. It's CEDRE Superfluide. Awesome cedar focused fragrance. Let me know if you've tried it. If you've not, again, as I said, check it out. My top 5 is definitely a great top 5. Try those cedar fragrances and let me know your thoughts. Do you have a favorite cedarwood fragrance? Add a comment below what it is, and let me know if you've tried these ones. And what is it about cedar that you guys enjoy? It's a great note. It's used quite a bit in everyday fragrances, not as a star note, you know, usually as a base note, a woody base note. But here, definitely, it's the star here, mostly the star of these fragrances. But either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please do list below. And please subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please click the bell icon so you'll be notified for future videos. And of course, please give me a thumbs up for this video so it'll help with the algorithm. Appreciate you tuning in. Have a good one. Bye-bye.